gotta do the thing. Cut it.
Cut.
It out.
No, I was actually thinking this episode we go into the songs in the album.
All right, no, we can't just do it like this. We have to segue into it. You know?
All right.
That was a segue. So someone's got to segue us into it.
This is the segue. Go. Who cares? It's good.
We're gonna talk a little bit about the individual tracks on Stardust Disco, some inspiration and little things about the songs, whatever. But up first, we got
the album tour has been cut short from Corona, so we're just
we were supposed to be in England
this
right
week,
now,
right? Yeah,
in Brighton for our first international tour. It would have been awesome. We would have hit the UK. It would have been great, but
we would have been rich.
Instead, we're sponsored by New Amsterdam Gin. This is for Tom right here.
What's this
Kiss my ass.
It just says my ass. Like, fuck that. I do not give that thing credit.
Lips.
Yo, are you beeping like Kanye? Did you hear about that?
What? No.
Kanye's only talking in beeps.
Oh wow.
He's
That's
like
cool.
words are beneath me. So he's around his house going to Kim. Beep 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 beep. He's beeping at people.
Who's lost it?
Yo, it hasn't been easy on folks.
No, that's true.
Anyway, so I got to
hair.
in, yo, because it's party fed. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Someone's definitely going to be drinking. So I got myself a lemon and some sugar. I did this.
All right. Well, while you're fixing yourself a drink, why don't you talk about the first song?
Hold on, Dave. Here we go. A little bit of sugar. Lick it. Gin. Kiss my ass. Lemon, yo. Fuck. Holy shit. That's for England. Anyway. All right, so Stardust Disco.
Who came up with the name? Was that you, Matt?
It was originally we were talking about have the Stardust Ballroom because that was a place.
No, it was originally supposed to be the Latin Casino.
Yeah,
Latin Casino, which was
We eventually arrived at Stardust Disco because all of our parents met at the dance set. In where was it? Brooklawn?
No, it was
Stardust.
I think it was on 130. Stardust.
Somewhere in South Jersey, whatever, near Pensacola, I think. But it was called the Stardust Ballroom. So we tried doing it, but it would have been like some kind of a copyright trademark issue. So we said, "Fuck it, we're doing Stardust Disco," which is way cooler anyway.
Stardust Disco, but I think it had partly due to the fact that
they called it the disco.
Our local buddy Stevie James, who did the album artwork. He did the disco ball, the broken with the brain coming out there, which was funny. I saw he posted that online, and I was looking at it. And JB, I saw it earlier in the day, and I hadn't said anything. And JB sent it to me the same day, and he was like, "Yo, what do you think about this?" I was like, "I was just looking at that earlier." So that's what became the
it was all the
EP cover.
All like the sounds that we're putting in the album. I was like, it sounds like disco. It sounds like rock and roll. It sounds like this and that. And then I saw that image, and I was like, wow, it's like kind of exactly what we're going for. The brain on it, just like raw, like not giving a fuck about pop and just like going straight ahead.
Yeah, it was way poppy. This Stardust Disco was definitely a step forward. We wanted to sound like if you walked into like a nightclub, start to finish, not 1 second do you stop like dancing for 19 minutes or whatever. You know, it was definitely like. In a way, it's kind of experimental because we focused so tightly on having.
We embraced pop more on this for sure. More
I wanted it to be like a visual. Anyway, so that brings us to Deliver, first track on the album. I think it was actually Hang Around was I wrote Hang Around like 3 or 4 years ago, but Deliver I wrote like maybe a year before we started recording. I was like 26, and just going through like there's ups and downs and stuff. I guess it was just like a lower time. So I wrote a song to kind of like as like a pick me up, you know, that like no matter where you were, the second you heard it, you want to stand up and just start kind of moving or like get your heart rate pumping fast. And I wanted to mimic the idea of like the floor tom at the beginning sounding like a speeding heart, you know what I mean? Someone who's fucked up or whatever, you know what I mean? Like just kind of dizzy buzz and all that, like a fuzzy, dizzy, heart racing thing, you know.
My interjection on that is we were going to do it in a surfy way on the album first, and PB originally had it as like this like straightforward, like really punk rock element, and we kind of merged the two, but we were going to lean towards the surf, and then everybody heard it and was like, it's got to be way heavier, and we went way harder in the studio in the other direction.
The original version the original demo I wrote, I actually wrote it when I was like, I definitely wasn't sober. I was definitely fucked up when I wrote it. And which is sick because the final vocal takes on the record, I sang when I was fucked up in the studio too. We were drinking all day long, drinking and smoking all day long in the studio. And then it was at the end of the night, I did Deliver and Hang Around. Because I wrote the songs fucked up. And I wanted it to just be true all the way through to that fucking, you know, just
sounded great. I remember Dave was like, keep pushing, like this is the day. It
was sick, yeah.
Like kill your voice, and you
Deliver. I sang Deliver. I sang Hang Around first, and then Deliver. I sang, and I blew my voice out at the end of it, just fucking screaming. But people. What's interesting is people have come up to me and have said that song gives them like it's like a hopeful song to them, you know what I mean? The idea of deliver me, set me free, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so
it's like deliver me from my troubles, yeah.
Yeah, deliver me from my troubles. Yeah, it's ultimately like a cry for help, you know, but like it's also.
I think when people hear, even if it's the lyrics aren't specifically hopeful, I think when somebody hears a song that they can relate to in terms of, even if it's like a darkness there, that inspires hope, you know what I mean? Like even if. You know, I think people are like, oh, even if there's someone else going through whatever I'm going through, whatever, that alone, the solidarity there, that's just like people like get inspired by that. So
yeah, because I really like the idea. I guess it's part of the way that I like to write. I love the Beach Boys. I love the idea of having a really poppy sounding melody and chord progression. Just A to D major to E major is the poppiest thing ever, you know. But having really pretty upbeat music, you know, but have the lyrics be like more authentic. I always thought of it like writing, but just like reading off a page of like my diary, you know, because like when I wrote that song, I am taken back to that day. You know, I was 26, shaved head, fucking screaming, delivering.
Look like Tom.
Look like Tom, actually. Yeah, look like Tom. I think Tom looks better.
I know I look better.
All right, without further ado, here's the winner.
Give me something. Come and go when you feel the warm and all will be so good. Tell me something that only comes from the ones who want it all. And that's what I want. It doesn't cost too much. No, it's free. Is it you? No, it's me. To live for me. To live for me. To live for me. Set me free.
we have I Can't Wait was next.
I Can't Wait's next, yeah.
I Can't Wait. Oh man, I Can't Wait. That was
when we broke down.
That was when we broke down. Yeah. So right before we were going into the studio, we were like, because we recorded it over the course of like 3 or 4 months. Like we would go in for a couple days at the beginning of the month, and we did like the first section, and I still hadn't finished the lyric. So in between those 2 sessions, we were touring the Midwest. We played a couple shows, and we were driving. We played Chicago with our buddies Cabanaware, and then we were driving to
the show.
It
was the show, wasn't it?
We were driving to Akron.
We were driving to Akron. Bless this mess. Shout out. It was like an awesome house show that we were going to play, and we played
there like a year before, and it was awesome. It was packed.
It was so fun.
The kids knew the music, they knew the lyrics. It was awesome.
Akron, it's a house party near Akron University, or
it's right by. I don't know what the college is. It's not far from. This is Akron, whatever the main college is.
Whatever the fuck college is near Akron.
But the point is that we didn't get there. No matter where it was, we didn't get there. Just halfway in between Chicago and Akron, the SUV we were driving broke down.
Wait. Do you guys remember the city where we broke down? Where was it? Oh, it's something like that. It is something like that.
Maumee?
It's like
it was Maumee. It's Maumee.
Maumee?
Is it?
It's like Maumee, yeah.
It was like MAWMAUI. Maumee.
Yo, so
MAW was like Maumee.
You said it fast enough.
No,
if you said it fast enough after a couple shots of whiskey, it was definitely
Maumee.
I live in Maumee.
Maumee.
Take me home to Mama.
Take me home.
Lake Paw Paw is where I was staying working. And then we were in between Lake Paw Paw and Maumee. Maumee is where we got towed. Maumee is where we got towed. Yeah, but it's not the town we broke out in. Either way. So we broke down, and we were sitting in a Walmart parking lot for like 5 hours, counting it down. We're like, all right, if we get it.
No, we broke down in Maumee. And we got towed to Toledo.
We got towed to Toledo.
Yeah, right.
It was Maumee, dude.
We hitched a ride to Toledo.
I just checked it out.
But the song is about when we were getting there, we didn't have enough money to the tow truck driver. We ended up getting towed. We couldn't play the gig. So we called a tow truck, and the dude could only fit 2 passengers with him. So we were like, all right, that's all good. And we didn't have any money at all.
There was no Uber service or anything. We couldn't
no Uber. They barely have cab service. It's like 1914 in the middle of it. I don't know what the deal is over there. I
liked Ohio though.
I ain't mad at Ohio. I'm just saying I like 1914.
The area that we're at was just Boondocks.
That was a compliment.
Yeah. I'm a big early 20th century guy. So
less cabs the better.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like a one-horse town. If you could
down with it.
A one-horse town, we definitely did.
That's 100% true.
We were at one point to buy a car.
Before on Craigslist.
Tom was on Craigslist, wheeling and dealing, trying to get
I was trying hard.
Trying to get a car.
Wouldn't do it. I can give you. I said I can give you.
Party Pat strikes again.
Fuck that. Anyway, Toledo, where were we?
Oh man, yeah. So rather than pay for a taxi, we went into the Walmart and bought like a blanket. And we moved all the instruments to the middle of the car. And then me and PB went into the back and ducked down. So when the tow truck driver pulled up, he linked up all the chains and all that. And then he went into the front seat. So he was in the car with us, and we were like silent in the back, with the blanket like this. He didn't hear us. We couldn't breathe. We didn't breathe for like 3 minutes straight. And then the dude going like this and lifting the truck, and we're like laying like this with the dude going up and like all in the back. And then we finally went on there, and then we drove like 45 minutes to Toledo in the back. It was pretty nice. It was actually a sick ride.
We left you guys the Bud Lights. I remember he was like,
we drank Bud Light. We toasted to the stars with Bud Lights.
So we're on the back of this flatbed tow truck in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, on the way to Toledo. It's like something out of a fucking storybook. Me and Mo are sitting there after we bought a black sheep in Walmart.
Baba.
And we're sitting there, Baba black sheep. No, but we're sitting there, cheers and beers, looking out up at the stars, Like it was crazy. It was a surreal moment because we had fully accepted that we weren't going to make the show. We definitely owe those people in Akron an awesome show. I can't wait.
They got a song out of it instead.
We got a song out of it.
But look, PB, you just said I can't wait. You said I can't wait to do it. That's what it was. I can't wait to get the hell out and back to the regular thing. That's what it was. So that's what the song's about. Yeah.
Outside the Michigan line, we're gonna take a ride with you. Lay low, don't let the cards show. Do anything to hide the truth.
last April we played Albany.
That was the time
And-
before that. We were
Yeah,
Akron.
that was yes, and we were. It was actually
I can't
the day. It was the same thing. It was the day before we were going to the same venue the year before,
Mm.
and we played the show, and then we went out to the van afterwards, and our mirror, the side
just the
mirror,
mirror was stolen.
just
out
the
of
mirror
side
was
mirror.
gone, not the thing. So it's not like a dude crashed into it and took the side off. It's just a dude went up. He just wanted the reflection. He just goes like this,
Yeah.
takes it
He
off.
took his
Left,
likeness with
we
him.
had
Yeah.
all the merchandise, everything was in the van. He could have reached in and grabbed the whole thing. He just wanted the mirror. He just wanted that. The dude left like that. So we went and drove with no mirrors. We drove to Walmart, back at Walmart again. We drove there, and we found, I don't know who, JB or PB or Tom, I don't know the guy, but they came out
One of
with
us.
Vanity, at least one of four.
One of us
Vanity-
was JP John PV.
I don't know if it was me, John, Pat,
Yeah.
or Tom.
Who was it,
It
dude?
was one of us. I'll tell you. We'll get to that later. But the dude comes out. We had 2 vanity mirrors, so it's like
With
this
the
one
handles.
with
Yeah.
the handles. Duct taped them to the side of the thing.
God.
The most the stupidest thing you could have seen, but it got us from Albany to.
It was
I
remember-
illegal, it was
I remember
dumb, it
sleeping in the
was
van.
unsafe
After-
and illegal.
After the Akron show, I remember sleeping in the van because I had to drive first shift the next morning. So I'm like kind of awake in the back, and all of a sudden I hear the bands that played that night come up and just start laughing at our van, dude. I hear them in the dark just be like, "Could you believe it?"
I didn't.
Ooh, ah.
Track 3. I'll start us.
Oh,
Disco,
yeah,
Dyer.
back
We're back. We're back. The what's the name? This song is about it's about really non-conform. I feel like every song I ever write is about non-conformity, but the nature of being in a band is like you can't really. It's kind of like going like against the grain of like normalcy. I just say so. Getting to an age where a lot of people are like focusing really seriously on like settling down and getting like careers where they're actually getting money.
Yeah, because you know what they say, once you hit 30 years old, you should just fucking quit.
Right.
The coolest thing about the song
Yeah,
for me
right.
is that we had that opening riff,
Fuck
the
that.
verse riff, and we were playing it at shows with different choruses because we knew that was powerful. And we're like, this verse is going to kill one day in one of the songs. I remember people coming up after shows and being like, what's that song? What's the one with the, and then we're like, we're not going to put the song out until we come up with a chorus that's better than that part,
Yeah.
which we
Yeah.
found like,
Dyer's an example of us really honing in on like our songwriting, like maybe next level songwriting compared to like Never Felt So Good. I feel like that was a step up, both with, like the hooks and like the restraint. On there's a lot of restraint shown in self-editing and stuff like that. It's like we wanted to have a style of song that really epitomizes. It's one of the songs that epitomizes, other than "Don't Give Up Your Heart," probably, which is the disco.
well, that was a song, Pete.
This is a very disco vibey song. It really it attributes to the title so much. Like without Dyer, and definitely without "Don't Give Up Your Heart," we couldn't have called it Stardust.
Sunrise, sunset, when did you forget where you came from? You sat down, grew up, we skipped town, you got stuck at the station. Everyone's dying to know, places you go when you grow. It's all the same at the end as at the start of the road. Showing you up, straight you out, is that what life's all about? Don't let them take it away. Resting on the weekend, rest another season. Dreading for some peace and quiet evening. Won't you come on over? 20 minutes over, keeping my composure and fading it. She said, oh, you never give me a reason. Oh, you never give me a reason for it.
All right.
Oh, you never.
Other Side of
Cool.
Life.
So next we have
Up
Other Side
next.
of Life. I wrote that in my car in one day. It was like a lunch break. I came back and I just wrote it straight up. No, but I had the guitar riff from something a while ago, just that intro, like the verse guitar. And I just wanted to write like a super positive song about about going through like any time in your life that could be that people like panic and then like can't handle or whatever. So in my personal life, Harry was being born, so I said I wanted to make it like okay that we could be parents and like there's another side of life that that's waiting for us that we could just like embrace or we could be like terrified of. So I wanted to be embracing of it. So I wrote about that and I compared it to being on an island. And I was just went with that. Like if you crash on an island, you got to either survive or you die, and that's just
Another uplifting song by
James.
John Builder. It's like the miracle of Stardust Disco.
Yeah.
Yo, how is fatherhood, by the way? What do you think?
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, like looking back,
in 12 seconds, Father,
yeah,
go.
Yeah, 5 seconds. But like looking back, you were writing the song, like because you
looking
wrote the
back,
song
I was
with a certain
terrified. I
mindset.
remember being like, I have no idea what it's going to be like, and it's. I think it's easier than you think.
James, that's our natural tendency.
It's easy as shit.
Easy as fuck.
The hardest job in life is being a mother. The easiest job is being a father.
No, I think it just you just like it's almost like your mind prepares itself like for its own challenges. Like I'll see things that Harry does and I'm like I'm already ready for it. I'm already like just gonna roll with it. And that's just kind of
James, but
I'm like that with everything.
James, here's the thing: you write you have written it's a specific thing for you, but the thing about your songs, which is so good, is that the lyrics can be interpreted on such a broader, just a broader spectrum. You know what I mean? Like,
I had people come up to me.
A lot of. I like to think of that as new life and new death too. You know what I mean? Like it's a song about life and death. I think
Yeah,
people who are low cling to that song.
After we played Brenda's, someone came up to me that was in an open relationship and said, "Did you write that song about open relationships? That there's three, the trio. Like we have like the other person and then the couple,
the love triangle,
the love triangle." And they got it that way. Like it can only be a crowd of three, like the three of us against the world. Like they saw it like that, and I was like, oh, nah. But I was like, if you got it that way, but
it's one of those songs.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I said this to JB too.
Yeah, I was like, awesome that you got it that way. The funniest is Mo singing the end part. Mo was singing this like super high operatic part.
Gosh.
And then Dave heard it and was like, that kind of sounds like a theremin. Can we get a theremin in here? And it was like that day he knew someone that got a theremin. And Mo and I learned how to play it, and then we just like threw it over the song. Just like
John
a
Cosman,
thing.
John Cosman, shout out to John Cosman, hooked us up with some
that was great.
Isaiah's theremin. He was interning at Gradwell. But Mo really belted it out. If you listen to it hard enough, you can hear Mo singing in this like operatic, super
The jokey operatic.
After Dyer, there's no
it's the guitar line. It's the
guitar line at the end, the final breakdown.
Now. If you listen to that hard, you can hear there's the guitar going, the theremin doing that, and then
kind of great.
the
super loud.
The highest note.
Everyone was breaking, taking a smoke break.
No,
I was the only one in there, and it was only a couple of people who stayed behind. I stayed behind. I was sitting there and watching, and he's fucking belting this out. I'm like,
it's the highest note I think I ever hit. But if it's like false, it's fucking. I can hear that. I think you can hear like a little bit of it at the.
You can hear it a little bit.
No, you can hear it. If you're listening for it, you can hear it. I'm glad that we kept that too, because that was like, I don't know. But anyway, Other Side of Life, dude.
Here's Other Side of Life.
That's their favorite song. Yeah, Other Side of Life is great.
Give me a chance, honey. We can live it honestly. It won't be lonely when it's only a crowd of three. I'll meet you on the other side of life. Ain't gonna survive if we get hurt to kill and build a fire.
Hit the beach.
All right, hang around, yo. This one comes with a shot. Good news, guys.
This one we had, I think Peeves the most
Sponsor.
of all of us on.
No, here's the
or
thing.
Don't
I
Give Up
wrote
Your Arm had
this.
the most
I
singing.
think I wrote this when I was like, 23. This might have been like 5 years ago. But I wrote it with a friend he just went through a really bad breakup. and he was alone. And anyone who's had a breakup or some kind of a loss, anything like that, there's a void that it's the unknown. And you often find yourself, unfortunately, a lot of people cope with that by drugs, alcohol, substance, whatever it is, you know what I mean? A lot of people are too hard on themselves and stuff like that. So I always have tried my best to recognize this when people, even if you're not that close to them, to reach out to them. If you know that someone has had like a loss or someone's down, like you reach out to them and be that person. Because for me, I got a brand new guitar pedal. I was like, yo, let's roll up a blunt and let me just test this thing out. And we're sitting there, and he only knew how to play like 2 chords. So I was like, okay, yeah, you do that. Like, play those 2 chords. I'm like writing it with him, giving him something to do. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, like, just like not letting people be alone and offering company and stuff like that. So the lyrics are it could be, you know, like JB stuff. I like to write songs that are you know, can be interpreted in different ways. It could be about a lover, or it could be about, I don't know, your group of friends, those people who are there for you when you're down in those moments. It's kind of like a tribute to those people. It's a tribute to those people, and it's also a nod, recognizing kind of like the concept of self-reflection too, like taking a look at yourself and maybe thinking about why you went through this and just experiencing things as they are. You know? But Hang Around is for the people who are there hanging for you, hanging around.
I think it's a standout track on the thing, just because it has a little bit of a different vibe in terms of like it sounds more beachy and
yeah.
I don't know. I think it has more of a
I attribute it to the beach.
little spacey. It's I think a lot of people like it. I've heard people say it's Clay doing the keyboard.
Oh yeah,
Clay Sears.
Well, that was awesome. We have Clay on that song, and then we have Anthony Orlando, Matt's dad, Uncle T, percussionist in the Philly Orchestra for 40 years, legend on castanets in the pre-chorus. And it was great because both his dad, both Uncle T and Clay, they just, I don't know why, they just happened to be walking by. And there was people in and out of the thing, but for some reason Hang Around was going on, and they just, both of them sat down and like did their thing with only hearing it like once through. They just went boom, boom. It's a very like quick but raw performance from both of them, and that's the way that I wanted it. Just like the vocals are. I sang the vocals when I was like, I definitely wasn't sober. I was like fucked up, you know what I mean? Because I was. It's like all this is a tribute to that. It's about getting over that. Deliver me. Hang around. The people who are around you to fucking get you through this fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know?
I remember Clay playing that organ part, and I like leaned to Dave, and I was like, "Are we gonna have to pay Clay?"
I said, how much
and
does
then
this
Mo goes, he getting played by the note, and he did like the piano like crazy.
It's a $25 a note. I don't even think he listened to it once through. I think he just played to it.
I told him before, I said F, so crazy. Whatever it is, F to A sharp to F to A sharp.
Yeah, dude's nuts.
But yeah, that's the thing, and like, for a song to be written, at that point, because I was going through some crazy shit, and I feel like it's a way for me, like when you help other people, you are helped with them. You know what I mean? Like, if someone says they're at rock bottom, if you swim down to meet them and you kick off together, like, I don't know, it's just a new experience. If you're capable of doing it, why the fuck not do it? You know? But anyway, here's for Hang Around, dude.
You're saying around.
Another story, how I lost again. But you already knew that.
song on the EP, right, James? Don't Give Up Your Heart.
Don't Give Up Your Heart, yeah. Which it has to do with another show, problem, breakdown, or whatever you want to say. I left my some of my equipment in Brooklyn when we played up in Brooklyn, that rooftop show that poured rain.
Oh,
and then
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah.
Our Wicked Lady was sick.
our Wicked
Crazy
Lady.
rain.
It poured, and then everybody went down like the main bar, and we like packed it out with more people that, it was like packed to the, to the door.
It was crazy.
It was awesome.
That was a good show.
So,
Desert Sharks.
so I went back on my own to pick up equipment
Hunter.
that got left, and there was like some girl that was working there, and she like told me her life story, and before the end of it, we just got drinking and talking about how she's like wants to like give up on the whole New York.
Moving to New York.
Moving to New York, the whole thing. She's like, I'm just done with it.
It's hard to live in the city.
Yeah. And she's like, I've done it all. Like, I've been in bands. Like, I've done that. I've like, I'm a successful bartender at this bar. Like, I'm doing my thing. It's just like not what I want to be anymore and this and that. And I was like, I think that you're going through like that doubting period, like the 7-year itch or whatever, however you want to, say like that moment where you're like, you start doubting yourself. And she was saying how her dad always tells her to keep going. And I wanted to write it from the perspective of like a dad writing to a daughter, like on the phone, like, don't give up. And then for the second verse, I remember I wanted to write it from a friend's point of view, like, don't give up, like, keep going. And I was just using like lyrics that had to do with like just as close as I could do to get the feeling of like that Brooklyn street, like
very New
things
York.
I saw.
Very sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it really encompasses the disco vibe too. So much.
That was crazy. The keyboard, we did the synth for that.
I really wanted. I was watching a lot of Soul Train, and I wanted to write a song that could be played on Soul Train and have like the whole crew dancing and all the different. So like I had like a little demo version of the song. I remember making a compilation video of just people dancing to that song. I just like timed their movements to it. But I was like, I would love if like the Marvin Gaye crowd could get down with like, with this.
JB's the Stevie Wonder of the Warhawks. His birthday. His birthday the other day.
What?
JB's trying to be Marvin Gaye.
Dave had to pull it back. I remember Dave. I was like, should we have like bongos and like all this stuff that was so soul? And Dave was like, dude, if you do one more step, you're going to turn into Tame Impala. I remember he was like, you're on the brink of Tame Impala.
We were talking about Nile Rodgers. You can hear influence of Nile Rodgers all over.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
the guitar.
It was like Mo and I were watching Nile Rodgers and we're like, how could we play like that? Like, and we just
JB was like, I want to do like a Nile Rodgers type of guitar part. I mean, messed with a couple different things, and then it came down to that one, which basically just went along with the rhythm of it. But that was fucking
great.
cool.
Super tight. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was crazy to play that 100 times.
The vocals. I just wanted to have overlaying vocals like Beach Boys or Bee Gees, like just like a force of vocals going over the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we stretched our legs vocally this record for sure, and that's the thing that we have. That's what I'm looking forward to. Anyway.
I don't think Tom ever practiced it. Tom went in with us and we're like, we're going to sing this part. And like we all sang it, and the four of us gang vocals.
The harmonies they're getting crazy. It's really interesting to see that like the harmony thing is like a thing. It's like an event. I guess that like 4-part harmonies are kind of rare because it always seems like
the funnest day for me. The funnest day is harmony day.
Vocals is our strong suit, I think. Of all, as tight as we are as a band, I think vocally it's a weird thing. And all right, before we get too off topic, let's say the final track, Don't Give Up Your Heart. James, take us out of here. Take us out.
All the way to the ghetto, but I knew you
right, welcome back,
Only
everybody.
19 minutes long. How many times can you listen to the EP? Fucking listen to it 3 times in an hour, I guess.
Yo, but dude, isn't it like the transition so funny? Like if you went back to like the fucking dark days of like I guess dealing with the loss of religion or whatever the fuck it was, like it's so funny to see
I think
like
the earlier music was like discovering weed and losing
Yeah.
religion together.
yeah, which I guess one probably caused the other. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just so funny to like. I guess it was like it put like a cloud over everything of like uncertainty, and now it kind of feels like this. The music now is like very much kind of like coming out of a negative spot, I think, and it's turning into more positive. Not that music wasn't positive before, but the messaging was probably lost in translation a little bit because everything was so hard and dark, and now it's so much like
a little more clarity these days.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Apparently, everyone's only looking for licensing people. They're only looking for like positive songs for commercials, and it's only people are only thinking one thing: we're going up, baby. We're going up. Positive. Stay positive.
That's why I'm in the band, dude.
That's why you're in the band. That's why we left it at that note. Don't give up your heart. You know?
Dude, I think it's seriously like a good thing though, because if you look at like Nirvana, that was a very, very, very negative time. Like the 90s were so negative. And like you look at like Limp Bizkit, like that was negative music. It was like a way to like express or like release this negative energy. And if anything, it's like there really is.
But at
like,
the same time, they had like the most poppy shit of all time was going on.
Limp Bizkit? Oh no, I know.
Really aggressive.
In concession with Nirvana was coming like all the boy bands, like all that stuff.
Isn't it so funny because it's like it's so false. It's almost like it's like a symbolism. Oh, what boy bands? You're crazy, dude. They're legit. Yeah.
Boy bands, they have co-writers, all that stuff. I'm not talking about boy bands. I'm talking about the rock music, the new metal stuff in the 90s. That was what it was, and everyone liked it at one point. It just got diluted, just like every other fucking style got diluted enough. You know?
But like, why were we so aggressive back then, dude? Why was everyone trying to like?
Dude, it was 90s. It was rough. We're all 90s kids. Everyone, we're still trying to kick that shit, man.
And then 2000, I guess like the Strokes kind of came up.
Tom, so
it was like an angst. I guess Tom's right. I mean, they're like even like Blink-182, like bands like that. They had like that. It's like the teenage like fuck you. Like it was
kind of sad. You know?
No, it was more like, Disturbed. Late 90s. What's the name? Disturbed and all that shit. Everyone was. It was definitely like dark as shit.
Slipknot kids, bro, in the mall.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like that stuff. But
I was scared.
Heavy shit.
Sorry.
Dude, the death bell bottoms.
I was scared shit, dude. If you come up to me like a Slipknot shirt, like just like I'm just like
hell bottoms. Yeah, you look like a Slipknot kid, dude.
Dude, if I wear a Slipknot shirt right now, like I don't know, man.
Dude, Pat and I got a Slipknot poster for Christmas with all the masks, and my parents thought it was like
the most
literally
disturbing shit.
Yeah. They said, "What do you want for Christmas?" He said, "A Slipknot poster, Santa."
Slipknot. Like
my parents, you get the poster, and you can't see what it is. It's shipped. So on Christmas morning, when we're 7 years old, they unravel the Slipknot thing, and I think it was ripped in half.
It's like unraveling Satan. It's unraveling a cult. Like.
It's supposed to be the birth of Jesus, and it was the birth of Satan via fucking.
I got a Stone Cold poster. My parents got me a Santa brought me. I was like, oh, Stone Cold. I got a poster. No, I rolled it down, and he's holding up the belt, but he's got the big old middle fingers that they didn't catch. So I was like, yeah. I was sick.
That's awesome.
Kid Rock's album had the fucking thing, like you give the finger with
the
thumb out finger.
Dude, my brother was classic with that. Like the thumb was so hard out. Like,
yo, it is so
35, 36.
Yo, it is so Limp Bizkit, dude, and all that shit. It's so
can I do the Dane Cook, the super finger, two in the middle? I can't think.
That was great.
It's fucking wild, dude.
Great.
People are so offended. That dude was gonna beat me up. Like you give someone the finger, they get furious. You're just like idiots, dude.
Some dude did that. I remember we were in Vermont, and the dude like stopped short. My dad honked, and it's a bunch of teenage snowboards in the back, and the dude's in the back going like this with the thumb out.
Remember what we were doing? We were doing like go-karts or something, and Pat was ahead of me. But there was a guy.
I'll tell you, it was my 14th birthday. I turned 14 in the summer whenever the fuck it was. July 27th. I'm riding around like this. We're on go-karts. I lied about my age. I turned 14. You had to be 15 at the Falls in Medford. Wherever.
The Funplex, baby.
Funplex. So I'm
You're
riding
15
around
to
like
ride
this,
the fast
and
ones.
I get in front of the pack, and I'm giving the guys the finger behind me. Fuck you! Driving like this little kid on my birthday, and there's some dude, shaved head, big old American flag.
Slipknot shirt.
Wait,
Yeah.
he had a MAGA shirt before it was even.
He currently owns a MAGA hat. Like,
He
Definitely.
currently owns a MAGA hat. Anyway,
he voted for Trump. Nope. Like, for sure.
absolute asshole. Because we're sitting up after. I'm so happy. My birthday. We go save our fucking quarters, buy a slice of pizza and a fucking Coca-Cola. We're sitting there. We're at the table like, oh man, this is great at the Funplex. And this dude in his 30s comes up to the table. And he goes, looks right at me and he goes, "You don't know who the fuck you're flipping off, do you?" I was just like,
He was like 35. He was like 35.
Hard talking. A 14-year-old kid. Really hard talking. I'm just like,
Yeah. Do you remember who else was on the racetrack, dude?
Oh, I
Remember who
do.
else was on
David
the
Akers.
racetrack?
Oh, yeah.
David Akers,
David
man.
Akers.
The golden.
Yo, and then David Akers swung in on a vine and kicked him right in the fucking head.
Dude, say what you want about David Akers. He has the record for he's tied for the record for the longest field goal ever kicked.
Jesus.
He's
Is that
one
so?
of the, I think he's
Was
one
that-
of the three. One of the three.
That's
Yeah,
why.
you
How
gotta
far?
fact-
60?
Before we put this live,
63,
we
I think it is.
Wow.
fact check that.
63. That boy can kick.
Andy told him to break a leg. I'll never forget that. And he was like, break a leg when we left.
But how can you come up with, so you're telling me you don't have the social awareness that we're just a bunch of children?
No, he doesn't.
No, you
He's
were
gonna
giving
come
him.
and try and talk down to me, like threaten me with. He was
Kick your
so
ass.
threatened.
My favorite is I
On
wish
a go-kart, getting the finger given to him on a go-kart at the Funplex, that he was about to challenge me to like a physical altercation. He was my age.
I wish we could go back and see our reaction and
I was
how we would change it because we were kids.
Oh,
we were probably
yeah.
just like sorry, but to do
Oh.
it now.
Oh, I would have took my Coca-Cola and poured it on top. I would have stood up and said, "Stand right there." And I would have pumped it on his head like this.
You just stabbed him a bunch.
Pour it with the middle finger.
Honestly, yeah.
People are nuts, dude.
People are crazy, man. Yo,
I go, okay. I'll see you. I'm not going to deal with this bullshit. Like, you really care that much about something so stupid. Like, that shows that there's something literally, like,
Yeah.
wrong with you.
yeah, it's scary, man. It's
Oh, for sure.
on
People
go-
get enraged. They're just like,
is the people in retail, the people you're delivering to. You know what I mean? It's a really difficult job. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of pent up energy and anxiety. They're probably, you know, if they don't
They're
have
taking
an
it
outlet,
out on JB, the driver.
taking it out on JB. But
Dude,
JB,
I've been using that to my advantage so much. The COVID, I'll be like, I have to drop it right at the bottom of my truck. I cannot move it from this spot. You're gonna have to sign the paper, and then I'm gonna walk over and grab the paper, and then you
I
walk
legally
away.
cannot carry this.
I said I legally cannot carry this into the building. It was like stacks full of shit, and they're just
yeah,
like,
that's their job. That's their job.
I just put my hands up for COVID.
Deliver
COVID.
it. Their job is to fucking bring it in. That's it. There's no. You're not doing anything less. You're not getting paid to do it. You're just doing big old this. You know?
COVID.
Yeah, bro.
The
So COVID like hand
Yo,
symbol.
Brovid-19,
Yeah.
dude.
Bro, 20, like, that's like, the party after is going to be nuts. Yo, the party after COVID is going to be pretty fucking
No, it's
sick.
the vaccine party, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what I was thinking about today is the
Shaking hands.
COVID anniversary. Like 10 years from now, there's gonna be like COVID party at like a bar.
Yeah.
Everybody wears masks. Like, dude, it's gonna be
People are getting married. This crazy fucking nuts.
Corona took a dip in the beginning stages, but Corona in the long run will make a lot of money because people say Corona kegger.
Yeah. No, there are people.
When you got the virus, he's just like drinking it. Like, he's got the coronavirus.
It's definitely. They definitely took a hit, but there's definitely people that are doing the opposite. They're like, fuck.
I don't
You know how that goes.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, I digress.
No, man, but they say like it's like there's no guarantee of a vaccine. No, okay, well, I'm not even getting into it. Dude. I'm not getting into it, man.
Keep it positive. Keep it positive.
God. Now keep that in, but like everything. I'm not gonna talk about it. But
Tom,
yeah,
keep it positive.
We could talk about. We didn't talk. We could talk about.
I'm trying to go back to work, man.
Tom,
I'm
that
trying
brings
to
me
go back
to
to
the
work.
next
So.
point. It's called "Why I Quit My Job," and we're gonna start with you.
I did not quit my job. I currently work at the. I didn't quit.
Tom, here's the thing. I watched the
Mhm.
Bob Dylan documentary today, and I'm just gonna do what Bob Dylan did. That's it. Simple enough.
Maybe the answer is rolling in the
I think
wind.
he's a fake. I don't know. I think Bob Dylan's a fake, dude. I think he's a fucking fake, man.
Tom, watch the documentary by
He's a
Squid
fake.
and then tell me.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Bands that everybody likes that you don't like.
Yeah,
Or
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
I'll take bands that I like. I'll take Bob Dylan. I'm just gonna keep
Yo,
saying
yeah.
Bob Dylan.
No,
Listen,
I'm saying
here's the deal.
Everybody likes Bob Dylan, but it's the unpopular
He's
opinion
great.
is Tom.
Bob
Go ahead,
Dylan's great, but I don't see him as God. I see like a couple songs are like okay. The rest of it, I'll say it. I don't get it.
It's the whole thing, man. The whole
A lot of
package.
people, here's the
That's
thing.
why I don't like it.
Tom, do you get full
Joan Baez said
from
it
other
best.
people?
That's rock and roll.
Yeah,
In the documentary, Joan Baez said it best. She says, a lot of people dismiss it and say they don't get it, and that's fine. She says, but for the people who do get it, she says it goes way deep. It's like a rabbit hole shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like
We
it's
play,
its own
we
thing.
play, we compose. We play, we
All
compose.
right, Peeps, what's yours? A band that everybody likes that you're just like, nah.
On like,
Didn't you not like The Weeknd back in the day?
no, I like the weekend. The weekend was sick. I ate it once.
Okay.
Well, the weekend? No, I'm thinking of Smith Westerns. First time I heard Smith Westerns, I was like, "What is this stuff?" I couldn't even. And then the second, I was like, "Oh, this is great. Yeah, it's fantastic. One of my favorite bands." But the bands that I say off the bat that I don't care for, often it ends up being like one of my favorite things, like earworm things. So it's really strange how that works. My opinion is doesn't mean really anything. It's just like, I think it all comes down to truth, which is why Bob Dylan is great, because it's just truth. He's just speaking.
They're not well-written songs. They're just like
For me,
they're just all they are is well-written songs.
I don't
He's
see
sat
it.
there
I don't
and typewriter and type songs.
it's not like a toe tapper, dude. It's kind of like
Some of them are. You know what I mean?
I mean, I agree. There's some of them. Some of them are like okay. Obviously, he has some of the best songs. I get that, but I'm saying like there's the catalog is like it's a snooze. You put the album on, it's a snooze.
The Beatles always had pop on their mind. Bob Dylan was folk and like
It feels better. Beatles feel better.
Beatles feel better because it's pop. It's that positive major bullshit. You know what I mean?
here's mine. Led Zeppelin.
Intended to feel better.
Not into Zeppelin, dude.
Not a Zeppelin, dude.
Not as
I would never put on Zeppelin by myself. If someone
for me-
requests it, that's fine, whatever. But I would never put on a Zeppelin song alone in my car. Never.
For me, it's like a majority of like the classic rock bands. I'm just like, you just hear it all the fucking time. I think I don't know. I can't think of it on the top of my head, but if I get into it, I can usually get down with the band. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even like to say that I don't even like bands anymore because I'm usually like, there's usually just songs. There's songs that I don't.
there's
probably
there's
don't
good
even
songs
know.
everybody. I'm just talking about if there's a band like in a party and you're just like,
I like a lot more
whatever.
music now than I did before. Like I think like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was like this song, like a lot of classic rock shit. I was just kind of like dad rock, just fucking lame or whatever. I'm just like I'm over it. And then I go because I hear it every other week on 102.9. And then now here I'm like when I get into the songwriting of it, I'm like, oh, some of these songs are fucking awesome, you know. So I don't know.
Basically,
But I mean,
Mo's gonna write an entire classic rock album.
Dad rock.
It's gonna be a remake of the Dire Straits album. It's gonna be that.
it's quadrophilia.
Mo's
It
looking
sounds exactly
for
the
permission to write a classic rock album. Mo, you're not getting it. You're not getting it tonight.
I'm gonna write the next Squeeze box.
yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not really into that. I'm not into that.
You're not into the Who?
I'm not a Who guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a Who guy. But I mean, again, I don't know a lot of their shit. But I mean, I know the hits. I just didn't really.
The Doors.
Unfortunately, I did watch the documentary and I tried to get into it. But a band that I just can't get. I really can't sit down and sink my teeth into like time again is Rush for sure. As much as it's awesome. I know it's like a stigma band.
Tom has an opinion on Rush.
I think they're awesome. I respect them so much. I just can't like.
We won't get fooled again.
What are you talking about? I don't. Rush is fine, man. I don't care.
Tom, you look
Okay,
like
listen to
a
it.
guy who tried to sue them because you came up with the band Rush, the name Rush
Hey, man.
before they did.
Rush Limbaugh, dog.
He said, "Hey, I had
Rush Limbaugh, the game guy.
Yo, did you hear what?
That I say.
Right after Ray Manzarek died, Norm Macdonald was like Ray Manzarek of the Doors dies at 73. The curse of the Doors, like the curse of the Doors strikes again, or something, as if it's like the curse of the Doors strikes again after he dies at 73.
The 73 Club.
Yeah.
And Stiller's
man.
dad, Jerry Stiller, died. Man, that's
he did.
so funny.
Yeah,
he
Little
was
Richard.
funny.
So
Little Richard.
Oh, Little Richard. No.
A wop babaloo. Yo, fucking, we should put out a heavy metal version of fucking Little
Tutti Frutti.
A wop
Dude, one show I would love to go to in my lifetime. If I could travel back. There's a show that Little Richard was playing this place in Georgia, and
Kiss me, baby.
Feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good.
Playing this place in Georgia.
Who's it? Jerry
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Kiss me, baby. Feels good.
His cousin.
Oh, no.
Wait, what's the other Jerry Lewis?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Why I on it?
Yo, but listen. So there's a show in Georgia. Little Richard's playing, and James Brown wants to play, and
I want to play.
I want to play.
Come on, play.
No one knows who.
He's got his big glasses on, man.
James Brown goes.
No, play.
James Brown goes ahead of time, scouts out the show, and is like, "Yo, Little Richard takes like 6 smoke breaks. Whenever he takes a smoke break, we jump on stage, the whole band, and play with his instruments, and we go into our songs." So Little Richard goes out with the whole band. They're taking a smoke break, and James Brown goes up and just starts going into his songs, and like the crowd was going nuts at James Brown. And then Little Richard heard him, was like, "Come meet my dudes," and was like, "Just let him in." And then
Yo,
James
my
Brown
dude.
became James Brown. Yeah, this is my dude. This is my dude. That my dude. That my dude.
He goes, yo, my dude. He's like, my dude. I don't want
He
to.
goes, yo, my guy. Yo, my guy.
He goes, hey, yo, big man. Hey, yo, big man.
You dancing? I see you dancing on the
Little legs.
Yeah, man, he died.
Yeah, well, rest in peace. Either way, man.
Inspired the Beatles and everyone, man. Fucking
Yeah, man.
everybody.
Legend.
He was
What
one
was
of
his
the
deal? Wait, how
pioneers-
old was he?
Pioneers of rock and roll.
I think
100, something.
114, man. I don't.
Maybe 250 years old.
Oh, wow.
He reached that age where he always looked the same.
Yeah.
He was like the same age for like 20 years of his life.
He shopped
Yeah.
in Florida.
Tutti Frutti was Italian for all fruits.
Yeah, right. Tutti. Tutti.
Tutti Frutti.
Here we go, dude.
He goes,
Don't
how
even
many
get me started.
frutti do I want? Tutti.
Matt's the only person with an Italian last name, so he's not the authority on Italian language. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You've been to Rome, but Tom gave us the trivia about Italian.
He said, "How many
Tom goes,
pastas?"
oh yeah. He goes, now I remember. Tutti
Tutti
all the fruits.
Tutti frutti. Tutti frutti. Only a tutti frutti.
I made him a Tutti Frutti. He couldn't refuse it.
I made him a tutti frutti. He couldn't. I want to play tutti frutti.
I'm a dog sweating.
He goes, my daughter's band. He goes, tell the band to play tutti frutti.
Hyman Roth.
But isn't the one dude in Godfather a
Tutti Frutti.
musician?
Who's that?
Isn't the one cousin like a musician in Hollywood or something like that?
Who's that?
In The
Couple-
Godfather, like the
Oh,
one
yeah,
like
yeah.
the one sibling's like a
Schwartzman?
music dude.
Or something?
No. Yeah, what's his name? It's like
Horseman?
Jimmy Tutos.
Jimmy,
Who?
No,
Jimmy
Talia
Buffett.
Shire. Talia Shire gave birth to like the singer of like
Singer of
Fair
Rooney.
Rooney.
yeah, it was one of those two. No,
Singer
Fair
of
Planet,
Rooney,
wasn't it?
Jason Schwartzman and
California,
Orlando.
here we come. That's like
Yeah, Jason Schwartzman and his half brother Robert Carmine, the singer of Rooney.
Okay.
Their mom is Talia Adrian from fucking.
And then make enough money.
Dude, that's one of the super families in Hollywood. Like they're related
Crazy.
to Nick Cage, is like their cousin. And
The
there's like a couple
Coppolas,
other-
the Coppolas.
Coppolas, yeah.
I want to play tutti frutti. I want to go tell the band to play tutti frutti.
somebody go play Tutti Frutti. Somebody go play Tutti Frutti.
He walks up on stage drunk. Tutti frutti.
Little Richard. You gonna play
Tutti
Tutti Frutti?
Frutti. You want to hear one of my favorite Little Richard?
That's my favorite band, Tutti Frutti.
Take it away. Take it away.
Oh, wow, Babalu.
He goes in a perfect rendition of it.
Take it away.
Oh,
1, 2,
no.
3. 1,
Oh,
2,
wait.
3,
You guys
2.
were here. Yeah, you guys were here the original lyrics.
Tom, we're gonna.
Tutti Frutti,
My
good booty.
Mike,
Yeah, I
Tutti Frutti.
Tutti Frutti.
all right,
Tutti
yo.
Frutti.
My computer's
feel
gonna
good.
die. My computer's gonna die. I think we got enough shit.
All right.
All right,
We're
everybody.
gonna give a shout out to everyone who's watching. This